And Marjorie Taylor Greene kind of going to bat against the Trump administration. You know, she'll say she's as MAGA as she gets, but there are some issues where she's been kind of deviating. And so a lot of the press conference, I think, was tooled not only to give survivors a voice, but also to show lawmakers.
Welcome to Reporter's Notebook, where we talk to the Washington Examiner's top journalists about the stories breaking on their beats. I'm Jim Antle, and I'm joined today by Congressional reporter Rachel Schilke. Rachel, we've talked a lot about the big, beautiful bill, which may be getting a big, beautiful rename, but there's also now this Trump administration focus on making D.C. beautiful again. Talk a little bit about that.
Yes, so as part of President Trump's federal takeover of D.C., one of the things that he is requesting is $2 billion from the House from Congress to beautify the city, and that's fixing roads, getting rid of graffiti, fighting crime, things like that. And so
he's also really worried about the grass.
And the grass, yes, every little inch of DC he wants to just make beautiful again, and so beautiful seems to be his key word in this administration. And so that's something that, though, Congress is going to probably have a little bit of heartburn over. There's a lot of fiscal hawks who are not super keen on giving billions in general to anything, even Republican agenda items. And so a lot of Republicans that I've talked to have said that they are interested in talking about it. They're interested in giving this money. There's just some parameters. Like a lot of fiscal hawks like Chip Roy and Ralph Norman, they want to know, where's this coming from? Who's going to pay for it? They don't want the taxpayers paying a lot of money to just random things. And one of the things that is interesting is that they are going to have to figure out, where is that money coming out of? Is it coming from a budget of another place? And with a razor-thin majority in the House and not 60 votes in the Senate, a vote on this bill may need Democratic support. And so, taking money from other places might give Democrats pause. And maybe Democrats in general who want Trump out of the city may not budge at all. So it'll be interesting to see kind of over the next few weeks whether Congress can get that together. They have a lot of bills on DC crime that they're going to be working on in the next few weeks, and so that could end up being one of them as well.
So there was a rumor that was kind of hot on the internet this week. Is Chelsea Clinton coming to Congress?
Unfortunately, no. As of now, we'll see. But her spokesperson had told me that she is not considering a run for Jerry Nadler's seat. He's the longtime New Yorker. I think he's the senior member of the delegation. And so his seat is a blue stronghold, so it's likely still to remain in Democratic hands, so no worries for them on the majority front. But that means it will be a large Democratic primary. He already has one declared candidate, and some people were saying Chelsea Clinton was going to run. Some are saying state lawmakers, even a Kennedy. So who's to say we might get another famous name there in the House? But unfortunately, to everyone's sadness, I'm sorry to report that she is not running for the House.
But Democrats might get to have a little bit of a generational change in that seat now with Nadler stepping down.
Absolutely, yes, because he said in his announcement to the New York Times, he said that he was heeding those calls, and that was one of the things that his primary challenger had said when he was launching his bid, that he really respected Jerry Nadler. There was nothing wrong with him as a person or a congressman. It just, he had been in Congress for a long time, and it was kind of time for the old guard to give away to the new grassroots blood. So this might kickstart for other Democrats to decide to step down. We've already had 4, including Nadler, so not a ton, but it could kick the ball rolling, especially because other elder members have primary challengers as well.
So now that Congress has come back from recess, the Epstein files are really back in the headlines.
Yes.
What was it like on Capitol Hill this week as the victims came and there were hearings and there was talk of new files being released? What did you see?
I think it's very interesting how nationwide this issue has become such a dear topic to everyday Americans. It's something that I get asked a lot about by a lot of people who don't live here. And a lot of things like government funding or like little niche things like people don't know about, but the Epstein files has become really big, and a lot of times the 24-hour news cycle means that the Epstein files could be yesterday's news, but it is constantly coming back, and with stuff on the Hill this week it kind of just brought more to the forefront. So we had a giant press conference. I think it was the largest one that I've certainly have ever seen, and I think a lot of members have seen also, with survivors speaking out, some of them for the first time, and lawmakers who don't normally get along. You saw Marjorie Taylor Greene next to Ro Khanna, and Marjorie Taylor Greene kind of going to bat against the Trump administration. She'll say she's as MAGA as she gets, but there are some issues where she's been kind of deviating. And so a lot of the press conference, I think, was tooled not only to give survivors a voice, but also to show lawmakers that this doesn't need to be political. Everyone can get behind this. And so the discharge petition is still active and ongoing. A lot of Democrats, most if not all, have signed on. Only 4 Republicans, and they need 6. So Thomas Massie is hopeful that he'll get it by the end of the month, but we will just have to see, because leadership is working against it, the White House is working against it. So it definitely is not leaving the news cycle anytime soon.
So Rachel, where can people watch your new show?
Well, my new show, Capital Conversations with my lovely coworker, Lauren Green, is on washingtonexaminer.com for now, and we would love your questions and to like and subscribe, please.
Thank you, Rachel. You can read Rachel and the rest of our political team's coverage at washingtonexaminer.com.